Hi, everyone, and welcome to our September virtual STEM night. My name is Regina Price, and I'm the chair of the Mathematics and Engineering Department here at the College of the Albemarle.
I'm Todd Kruger. I'm the chair of the Natural Sciences Department here at the College of the Albemarle.
And tonight, our virtual STEM event is NASA Robotics.
Right, we have a space theme for tonight. This actually is going to be a nice, simple experiment that actually answers a pretty big question that NASA has had in the past. We're going to go through our kits and show you what we have to work with, and then we're going to tell you what we're going to build with it.
All right, so inside of your kit, you should have 2 styrofoam cups and leave them together.
Right.
You should have some tape.
Okay.
All right, so this has beautiful silver stars, hot pink.
Oh, I got hearts on mine.
You're gonna need 1 plastic butter knife.
All right.
You're gonna have to do a little bit of cutting. You're gonna have about a 15 to 16 inch piece of string, piece of yarn.
Okay.
1 pipette.
Okay.
And a 6-inch paper ruler.
So maybe we should start off by talking about what NASA is. For anybody who doesn't know, NASA is the organization that does all of the space stuff in the United States. They are the ones who have astronauts. They send them into space. We send out probes to study other planets. We have all kinds of space technology going out there into space all the time. And NASA is the one who sends it. But as we said, there's kind of a problem. I'm going to show you a sort of a related thing here. I wonder if I can get your help with this. I'm going to take our plastic pipette and I'm just going to put it down on the table. I'm going to ask you to take this yarn here and see if you can pick up that pipette using nothing but the yarn. Think you can do that?
Let's see.
Well, that's clever. I like the strategy. That's good.
It's moving around.
It's good. It's pushing it.
It's not picking it up.
Not getting up off the table, though. Now, this doesn't seem like a very spacey question, does it?
No.
No. But here's the problem. NASA has built all kinds of stuff that we send out into space, like the International Space Station. We have a team of countries all working together to build this habitat in orbit around the Earth where people can do research in space, they live in space. We send shuttles up to put astronauts on the space station for a while and then bring them back home to Earth. And all that while, we're sending all kinds of stuff up there. We've got to figure out a way to grab onto those shuttles and those satellites, and those telescopes up there and bring them into our space station. How do you grab onto something if you don't know how much it's going to weigh, how big it is, what shape it is? You got to find something that's going to grab onto any size or shape object. And that's a hard question to answer. How can we make a claw or something that can grab onto anything?
What are we thinking?
Yeah. You guys think of a way to do that? I mean, we as humans have hands. We have these nice fingers that are good at grasping things and grabbing onto things, latching onto objects. But not all creatures have those. If you have a cat or a dog at home, they have paws. If you've ever watched them try to pick up a ball, it's really hard for a cat to do. It's good at kind of moving stuff around, but really hard to pick it up. Your dog, if you give him a ball, it's probably going to pick it up with his mouth and not his paws, because his mouth is much better at grabbing things. So, how is NASA going to figure out how to latch on to anything that's any size or shape? Should we show them how to get started? What should we do first?
All right, so first you are going to need your 2 styrofoam cups. You're going to keep them together, and you are going to get your butter knife, okay? So you're going to have to cut these apart. But how do we cut? How far are we going to cut? Okay. Now you need your paper ruler. So you're going to measure from the top, and you're going to measure down about 1.5 inches, and you're going to make a mark right there on your cup at 1.5 inches. And now at your mark, this is where you are going to take your knife, keep your 2 cups together, and you're going to start cutting. Remember, these cups are styrofoam. They're kind of soft, but it's easy to break. So you want to make sure that you hold them so they don't break. So don't cut too hard. It doesn't matter if they're not even either. Okay, it's okay. Nobody's judging anybody. This is the no judgment zone in the assembly.
That's right. So you said about 1.5 inches from the top of the cups. Okay. Well, for me, I'm thinking that's right about on this ridge here on my styrofoam cups. I'm just going to go ahead and cut along that ridge. Remember, you've got both cups here. You're going to cut through both cups right along that line. All right. Saw through this. It's going to take a little while to cut through all of this styrofoam.
And you don't have to be fast. Nobody's in a race.
That's right. You don't want to get too carried away and end up breaking your cups. You want to be nice and gentle. Just so you can keep sawing away and getting a little more cut every time you pull that knife through. Oh, look at that. You're done already. And we'll let people take an extra minute or so to do that. Well, I show you a picture of this thing right here. This is something we mentioned just a minute ago. Anybody know what this is? This is the Earth down here. This thing is up in orbit. It is the International Space Station we were talking about. This has a series of compartments and rooms where scientists and astronauts are doing research. They live here for weeks or months at a time. In this photo, you can even see our space shuttle docked at the edge of the space station there. But I want to draw your attention to this one piece of the space station, this long white arm here. You can see there's a sort of the belly of the space shuttle here, and this white arm has a camera on it at the moment, looking at the underside of that space shuttle. You can see the shadow of the arm there. This is what we're going to build. At the end of that arm, there is this little thing we call an LEE. It's a latching end effector. It's something that's going to be able to grab onto any number of different things. That is what NASA has created, actually Canada has created, to put at the end of this long arm to do a lot of different tasks that we need done on the space station. Thank you for finishing up my cups. How'd it go?
It went pretty good.
Oh, beautiful job. So this is what we're looking for. 2 cups stacked together so that the tops are nice and even in height. That's a beautiful job.
All right, thank you.
All right, what do we do next?
All right, so next you're going to take your piece of yarn and your ruler, and you want to measure out 3 5-inch pieces of string.
Okay, a 5-inch piece of string. Okay, I got a pair of scissors here.
And you can cut
Okay,
right at the 5.
all right. You said we're going to make 3 of these, right?
You got 3 5-inch pieces of string.
All right. Let's see, got just enough to get 3 5-inch pieces out of this. Looks like I've got about 1 inch left over. We're not going to need. Would you like the scissors?
Yes.
There you go.
My little knife was...
You can try cutting it with a plastic knife, but you might be there a while. All right. It's okay if they're not exactly the same length. As long as they're roughly 5 inches each, you're in good shape. Okay.
All right, so now that you have your string cut, I'm gonna lay them to the side. Let's pick up your cups that you cut, okay? Now, you are going to need a marker or a pencil, and you're going to look at the bottom of your cup where you have cut. You want to picture a triangle, okay? You want to be an equilateral triangle. You want all the sides to be the same length. So I'm going to mark here. I'm going to mark here and here. So the distances are about the same in between. And if I look at it like this, it forms that triangle. So now that I have my triangle, that's where you are going to tape the string that you just cut on the inside here and on the outside here, on the inside here and on the outside here, and then the last one, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing.
All right, gonna have to cut several pieces of our shiny tape here. But the goal, like Miss Regina said, we're going to be making little loops of string. Basically, we're going to tape one end of each string to the outside, one end of each string to the inside. So it just makes a little loop that connects the two pieces of styrofoam together. All right. Now, you may find this tape is a little tough to cut through. So you're going to want some nice sharp scissors, maybe someone's help to do this. But my tape has hearts all over it, so I know I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make my pieces of tape about 1 inch long. You don't want them any shorter than that. You want a nice big piece, so this will really keep that yarn stuck to the styrofoam. I'm going to make a few more of those.
All right, so this is how your loop should be. So remember, you're going to tape one piece on the inside and the other piece on the outside and one on the inside. Okay, so that's how they should look. And you still have both cups together. Don't take them apart. You need them to stay together. Okay, the one on the outside, one on the inside. And your cups may move a little bit. Try your best to try to keep them together. Looking at mine, see how my lines, the top and the bottom, it kind of moved a little bit, but for the most part, I tried to keep them together. All right, so I'm going to try to copy what you did. I've taped one piece of string to the inside. Looks good. And I want to go ahead and move the other piece of string to the outside. Tape that side down. And you'll find it easier if you do the inside first. Good idea. All right, I'll start with the strings on the inside. And when we're done, hopefully we'll have 3 loops of string sort of equally spaced around this circle of coffee cup. And like Miss Regina said, you want to put them at the points of that triangle that we were picturing across the surface. So if you can picture 3 points of a triangle, I'm going to put the strings on the 3 corners of that triangle. All right, I'm almost there. There's 2 strings. You are doing a great job. All right, let's see if I can do the 3rd string now. I'll lay the 3rd string on the inside. And I'll tape that down. And press the tape down good. You want to make sure the strings don't come loose. Okay, and I'm going to flip it up. Put the other string, or other end of the string, on the outside. I think we now have a latching end effector. That is a latching end effector. It is a lead. That is one of the mobile arms that they make for the International Space Station. Right. Now, you may be questioning, how is this going to pick anything up? It's a fair question. We're going to see. That's right. We're going to need something to pick up. So if you have one of these plastic pipettes in your kit, I would suggest maybe using a piece of coffee cup that we didn't use for the collars and just stick that pipette right in the middle of the coffee cup. So you have something to stand up on the table. And now, if we've done this right, I'm going to be able to pick up that pipette with 3 little pieces of string. All I have to do is turn my effector upside down over the top of the pipette. Now I'm just going to twist. And I'm just going to keep twisting until, oh, look at that. Strings are already starting to wind themselves around the pipette. And then, voila. I can pick this up without anything but 3 little pieces of string. And you can move it around, That's move right. it where you need it to be. Look how solid that is. And you can set it back down. And I can set it back down. If I want to let it go, I just untwist the cups until all the strings are loose again. And voila. That is a nice handy tool. I don't know what kind of sizes or shapes of objects I might encounter up on the space station, but this will wind itself around any shape you can find. That is a good way to latch onto things. So tonight you made a lead, a latching end effector, and it mimics exactly what they have on our International Space Station. Thank you all so much for coming to our virtual event for September. We'll see you in October. Take care.